The ball continues to roll. Keep your eyes on prophecy. All right, Shalom. I want to start off this video by giving all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim Yahusha, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and grace and peace to you elect around the four winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. This is your fellow servant, Rakaria from the GMS Orlando camp. And tonight, coming at you with some news and prophecy. I have a couple of topics I want to get into tonight. Lord willing, this is edifying unto you elect. All right, as you can tell from the title of tonight's lesson, all right, the ball continues to roll. All right, the ball of prophecy. All right, and prophecy tends to have a snowball effect to where once it starts, it only increases from that point on. All right, and right now we're living in a time to where prophecy is starting to increase upon the face of the planet Earth. All right, now we're in a time to where things that we've been reading about on a daily, weekly basis are now starting to manifest within reality. All right, are now starting to take place in real time as prophesied. All right, so now is more time than ever to keep our eyes on prophecy, continue to watch. All right, because the Lord truly is speeding up the days, and the Lord truly is moving, all right, upon the face of the planet Earth. All right, increasing his spirit upon the earth. All right, the things that we've been reading about, famine, sedition among men, wars and rumors of wars, earthquakes in diverse places, famine of the word, okay, the MOTB, Jacob's trouble. Okay, all these things are now starting to manifest in real time. So it's important for us, to hopefully elect, to continue to keep our eyes on prophecy. All right, now I have a couple of videos I want to play for you tonight. But before we get that, I want to get this here. In 1 Thessalonians, chapter 5, starting at verse 1. It says, "But of the times and the seasons, brethren, ye have no need that I write unto you. For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night." All right, and the Lord is coming as a thief in the night to those who are not watching. All right, because for those of us who are watching, all right, the Lord left signs to tell when roundabout he's getting ready to make his second return. All right, we don't know the day, we don't know the specifics, the day, nor the hour, nor the second. All right, but we know when roundabout the Lord is going to make his second return. And all signs are pointing toward Yahushua returning soon, Lord willing. All right, because the way prophecy is kicking off in the earth, the Lord is starting to speed things up. All right, and the Lord is closer than he's ever been. Realize that. All right, the Lord is closer than he's ever been. And he's only getting closer. But he's going to come as a thief in the night to those who are not watching, which is the case for the vast majority of the earth. All right, the vast majority of people aren't looking for these prophecies, and they aren't looking for the Lord to return. But for us of the household of faith, all right, we have to continue to keep our eyes fixed on prophecy, watching for our Lord's return, so that we're ready when he returns. All right, we want to stay ready so that we don't have to get ready. All right, like that old proverb says in the world. But it says, "For yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape." All right, and right now, we're coming into the time to where Esau is going to come with his promises of peace and safety. All right, listen, you're going to be at peace as long as you take this. There's safety in this. Conform to this, and things will go back to normal. All right, we're coming into that time. All right, and as we come into that time, it's important to know, all right, that when they say these things, then sudden destruction shall come upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day should overtake you. Right, because we've been made privy to the light. All right, the Lord has shined the light of this doctrine, all right, and the light of faith unto us. All right, so that we can navigate through the valley of the shadow of death. All right, and he's bestowed the eye salve upon us so that we can see. All right, we can see the vision. All right, the prophecies. All right, the parables, the dark sayings. All right, it says, Ye are all the children of light and the children of the day. We are not of the night nor of darkness. Therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. And right now is not the time to be asleep. Spiritually, mentally, we have to be awake. All right, because we're being attacked on all sides. Like it says in Ephesians, the 6th chapter, we're fighting against principalities. All right, the powers and the rulers of darkness of this world, roughly paraphrasing. All right, it's a battle. We face a battle, whether you realize it or not, on a daily basis, at all times, 24/7. From the moment you lay down to go to sleep till you wake up again, it's a battle. So it's important for us to be awakened spiritually, mentally, to what's going on around us, all right, to prophecy, all right, to what's going on in the earth, so that we maintain our foothold in this truth and we maintain our high ground above our enemies, because the Lord has given us the high ground by way of prophecy, all right, by way of this wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. While the rest of the world is bugging out because they don't have the answers, the Lord has given us the answers, the how, the who, the what, not necessarily the when, all right, but he's given us the how, the who, the what, why these things are happening, what's bringing them, how we're going to get out of this, all right. So we're not of the night, we're of the day. So therefore, let us not be asleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that sleep, sleep in the night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. But let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for an helmet, the hope of salvation. All right. And matter of fact, I want to get this one too. In Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 15, it says, see then that ye walk circumspectly, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. All right, let's get this word for circumspectly. Strong's G 199. Akribos.
Strong's G 199. Akribos.
Diligently, perfectly, exactly, accurately, diligently. All right, so reading it again, it says, see then that you walk circumspectly, diligently, accurately, perfectly. Okay, not as fools, but as wise, redeeming the time, because the days are evil. Wherefore be ye not unwise, but understanding what the will of the Lord is, and be not drunk with wine, all right, philosophies, doctrines, wherein is excess, but be filled with the Spirit. All right. And right now is the time to be filled with the Spirit of Yahweh by Shem Yahushai and the 100% truth, not the 80%, the 75, the 65, the 95, or the 99.9, the 100% truth. Redeeming the times, because the days are evil. All right. And in these evil times, the 100% doctrine, all right, the 100% truth, coupled with faith, is going to be the recipe to success. But let's see. So this first video I want to play for you all comes from WKBN 27. All right, East Palestine switching to My ID emergency service. Now, if you aren't privy to what has happened recently in the news, East Palestine has hit the map recently for the recent trail derailment in Ohio, which released a lot of chemicals, a lot of harmful chemicals within the air from them burning, which has led to a lot of farmers losing their livestock due to sicknesses, all right, and people falling ill from the acid rain that ensued from that chemical burn off, all right, which is by design. All right, and I found it interesting, all right, what you're going to see here in this video, that this My ID was rolled out just a few days before the trail derailment. Now, you may say, oh, you're just thinking too much, or, oh, you're conspiracy. Well, the people who have been saying that the prophets are just conspiracy theorists have been proven wrong and wrong and wrong, time in and time out. All right. Time in and time out. They said that they said everything, all the prophecies were a conspiracy, when they're a reality now. And remember that we're at war. Nothing is by coincidence. You got to have a war mentality in these times, man. Nothing is a coincidence. All right. Everything is by design, ultimately from Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai and from the enemy. All right, which influences the enemy. But, this is the My ID, all right, that was rolled out just a couple of days before that trail derailment. And this also plays into the MOTB, all right, what the prophets of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai have been warning about day in for decades, all right, starting with our elders, apostles, a great millstone on down. Apostle Tahar, Apostle Ramlav, Apostle Gabar, Apostle Rakah, all right, have all been saying these things through the Spirit, all right, along with the elders, all right, the elder bishops and the brothers on down, all right, for many years now, all right, and now we're starting to see the technology being rolled out, all right, being introduced within society, okay? So without further ado, let's check this out.
Mariana County coverage now, and East Palestine is known as the place to be. It's way ahead of the curve on a program to provide better treatment for anyone in the event of an emergency. I learned how it works and how it could help everyone in East Palestine. My ID provides quick medical information for emergency responders. Darlene Chapman is the outreach coordinator for this project, and she's an EMT.
If they're in a situation where they can't tell us or they don't have any family around, this is something that would make my life easier.
My ID works by taking a camera phone and pointing it at a QR code. It provides valuable medical information such as allergies, breathing difficulties, or other conditions, so you get proper treatment and care.
If anybody sees the QR code, you'll be able to scan this and get the information. So it helps that person, not necessarily just here, but anywhere in the nation.
There are a few options for My ID: a bracelet, key fob, necklace, or attachment on your watch band. You can choose the one which fits your lifestyle best. That's up to you. Orders will start in January. The fire department has already collected $5,000 in donations to help.
That's our ultimate goal. We want to be able to give this for free to the citizens and provide them with that extra layer of care so that we can better treat them.
The offer includes Unity Township, which is served by the East Palestine Fire Department. These items cost around $20 each. You can even buy it for yourself. The fire department is hoping you'll be willing to wear it.
My goal is to have 100% of our residents and the citizens we serve in the township to have one of these and be working with them to make sure that we can treat them better and provide the best service that we can.
There's a
And you heard it yourself. All right, you heard it yourself. Okay, how? And this is nothing for Esau to transform this wristband into something that's able to be placed within the RFID radio frequency identification device. It's nothing. All right, this is just an introduction, all right, of this type of technology, all right, of this type of medical technology to the populace so that they get used to it. All right, you're used to wearing it already around your wrist, so just take it in your wrist. It's nothing. And like you heard the police chief say, he plans on 100% of that town receiving that. Now, like this comment says, all right, let me scroll back up. It says, what are the odds that an entire town of 4,700 is gifted medical monitoring devices right before a hazardous waste spill? Now, due to this waste spill, right, you've had an uptick in illnesses, or an uptick in health issues. All right, a Norfolk Southern train derailment in the Midwestern town on February 3rd released toxic chemicals into the air. Since then, residents have reported headaches, nausea, burning eyes, and sore throats. All right, which I wouldn't be surprised. You shouldn't be surprised if there's more ailments that come along with this. That come along with what's been happening due to that trail derailment, which is going to push people to get those bracelets. All right, which, like it says in Revelation the 13th chapter, right? And this is starting to come out more and more because it's starting to speak more and more. All right, the reason why certain precepts come out more frequently than others is because those precepts, all right, those prophecies are starting to speak. All right, they're starting to speak louder and louder and louder in these times. All right, But this is Revelation 13:14. It says, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast. All right, and this is another miracle that this devil is getting ready to do. All right, to deceive the vast majority of the earth. All right, by putting this medical tracking technology. All right, first in this bracelet, so it's able to track your medical conditions. It's able to track your well-being, so on and so forth. And eventually it's going to be transmuted into that CHIP. All right, which is going to deceive a lot of people. But right now, the way this devil works is through gradualism. Okay, he works through gradualism, slowly introducing new concepts and new ideas to the populace, so that over time, all right, the whatever agenda that they've been trying to forward is not a foreign concept. All right, the people have already been introduced to it. They've already assimilated to it. Therefore, integration, of technology or ideologies is going to be easy with the minimal amount of buck up from the people, which is what they plan to do. Because when you go into war tactics, right, you want to exhaust the least amount of resources as possible. So if Esau came out with this right off, he'd have a huge revolt on his hands. All right. And America is the most heavily armed country on the earth. All right. He'll get a lot of blowback, literally. So he's slowly introducing these things into society so that it'll be a more natural transition into his NWO. And through the spirit, man, we can see this, man. It's clear. All right, it's clear. Let me get this. In 2 Corinthians chapter 2 and verse 11, it says, lest Satan should get an advantage of us, for we are not ignorant of his devices. All right, and Satan can't get an advantage over us because we're not ignorant to his devices. Okay, the Lord has made us privy to his mindset, to his agenda, to his plans, to everything. The Lord has given us the blueprint on Esau Edom. All right, like it says in 2 Thessalonians, all right, this devil, he has a God complex. He wants to be as God. And the way he is going about achieving that Godhead is through his technology. If anybody is telling you otherwise, that is a demon and a devil and a false prophet. He's not telling you the correct things. Whatever he's telling you can't be matching up with reality, especially if they're telling you that the MOTB is sin or white women or an embargo. Well, what are we seeing right now? What is the reality that we are living right now? I'll show you what the reality is that we're living right now. The My ID, along with the digitalization of the monetary system, of the dollar, the yen, the ruble, all these monies from these different countries are being digitalized. We're seeing CBDCs, central banking digital currencies, being set up in every country. Why? Ultimately for the rollout of the MOTB. Why? Because this is a global agenda, not a local. And this is what we're seeing playing out in the earth. This is the infrastructure being set up. And this is the setup to the MOTB, which is the RFID, radio frequency identification device. Plain and simple. Plain and simple. But let me see. I had another video here from Paul Joseph Watson. Now this guy's a little bit sarcastic, in his speech. You have to bear with that. But just listen to the message, nevertheless. All right, like we always say through the Spirit, it's not necessarily about how the message is delivered. It's about the message itself. All right, and the message itself is one of importance. It sheds some light on a few things that are going on. I found it interesting. So we're going to start off here in the 1 minute and 3 mark. All right, the video again is entitled "Oh Shit, They're Actually Doing It." Paul Joseph Watson, all right, is the channel name. Now, let me see. Yeah, let's just play this. All right, check this out.
Well, that now makes you a fascist. No, your eyes aren't deceiving you. The left is now protesting in favour of a new tax on the poor. Oh, how times have changed. One of these dangerous fascists opposing 15-minute cities gave a speech. She was a 12-year-old mixed-race girl.
I could stand here and say more or less what other people are going to say about the effect of these 15-minute neighborhoods.
Now, another thing that Esau Edom has been pushing is these 15-minute cities, all right, which is supposed to be more convenient for the people and is supposed to limit carbon emission. You know, the carbon footprint, which is supposedly supposed to have an effect on global warming, which we know is all BS and bullshit. All right, just along with everything else out of Esau Edom's mouth, you know. But nevertheless, this push for 15-minute cities, all right, is essentially Esau Edom moving in with garrisons, moving in and seizing towns so that he's able to have a tighter grip on the city. And check this out.
Soon to become digital ID facial recognition zones. Let's say my friend lives in zone 3 and I'm in zone 1. If, for example, I went to my friend's house in zone 3, my parents normally come and pick me up in their car. It only takes 10 minutes.
And I gotta get this, all right? I'll play it back. But isn't this what the Lord warned us of? All right, isn't this a part of prophecy? This is 2 Esdras 15 and verse 17. This is so beautiful. It says, a man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. All right, and we're seeing this playing out in real time. All right, the Lord is moving, man. The Lord he's moving. He's truly working the work in our days that though we're telling these people, and though they can see it, they don't believe it. This is exactly what's happening. For because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. A man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of the lack of bread and for great tribulation. Now check this out. All right, back this up.
Zones. Let's say my friend lives in zone 3 and I'm in zone 1. If, for example, I went to my friend's house in zone 3, my parents normally come and pick me up in their car. It only takes 10 minutes. So does that mean that they would have to go round the ring road and back into town again? If my mum or dad had to drive round the ring road, it would take 30 minutes, causing much more pollution and leaving a much bigger carbon footprint.
Quick, call the ADL, the Fourth Reich is upon us.
They will say, you can walk home. Would that be safe for me to walk home? Me as a 12-year-old walking home in the dark alone. Is that really going to be safe? Then they will say, oh, don't worry about that. We've already thought of that. You'll be safe. We will have 1,000 cameras on the streets following you and tracking you all the way home. Oh, just remember, it's for your safety.
Here's another fascist.
It essentially is restricting people's right to move. You have to pay the government in order to get round the block. And it's going to kill small businesses, it's going to kill tourism, it's going to be crazy.
There's more to this story, but first a word from the sponsor of today's video. One of the things that prevents people reaching their full true potential is the bad habits that consume so many of us. Which brings me to today's video sponsor, Fume. They're on a mission to help humanity escape from the vice model is snappy. Version 2 fuel of £12.50 a day. Every day, simply to get around. 1 million people outside London will also be impacted. Who drives older cars? The poor. It's a tax on the poor, and the left is marching in favour of it. The Telegraph reports the Tory Council, yes, the Tories, so Antifa is literally marching in support of a Tory policy, wants to slice up the city of Canterbury into 5 different regional zones. Residents and tourists would face as yet undisclosed fines for travelling across boundaries via ANPR cameras, unless they venture out onto a new ring road which will make some 1-mile trips 10 miles long. Oh, but it's not a lockdown.
And if you want to watch the rest of that video, you can. All right, but you know, you can see, all right, that you can see clearly, all right, that everything the Lord prophesied about of a foretime is now starting to come to pass, which is why we should keep our eyes on prophecy. All right, the ball is rolling. All right, and these things that are happening in these other countries, all right, are soon to come to America. Just like this whole pandemic started over there in the East, and it migrated this way over here to America, the same way a lot of these plagues are going to migrate their ways over here to Babylon, or America, Babylon the Great. But when it touches here, it's going to touch hard. It's going to hit heavy, because this is the virgin daughter this is the place that has led the whole world into a state of chaos. This is the place to where Esau Edom has been allowed to forward his debauchery throughout the four corners of the earth, man. So when it hits this place, it's going to hit hard. But right now, this is just the beginning. All right, this is just the beginning, which is why we should keep our eyes on it. All right, continue to keep our eyes on prophecy. This is 2 Esdras 16 and verse 17. It says, woe is me, who will deliver me in those days? The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death. Oh, and I also had an article here dealing with the famine. All right, just recently, a cyber attack happened on Dole, a food giant. Dole was temporarily shut down North America production. All right, which I'm not gonna play that, but let's see if we can get a little bit off of this and then go back. It says Dole has 4 processing plants in the country, including in Springfield, and employs more than 3,000 people, according to CNN. Upon learning of this incident, Dole moved quickly to obtain the threat and engaged leading third-party cybersecurity experts who have been working in partnership with Dole's internal teams to remediate the issue and secure systems. A company spokesperson said, yada, yada, yada. Let me see. That was it on that, basically. All right. But yet another food plant has been hit. All right. Along with the others who have been, hundreds of others who have been recently burned down, shut down, all right, polluted, all right, which is a trend that we're starting to see more frequently, which lets us know what? That famine is on the brink. Okay. Both a famine of bread and of the word. All right. But this is back in 2 Esdras 16 and verse 18. The beginning of sorrows and great mournings, the beginning of famine and great death, the beginning of wars, and the power shall stand in fear, the beginning of evils. What shall I do when these evils shall come? Behold, famine and plague, tribulation and anguish are sent as scourges for amendment. But for all these things they shall not turn from their wickedness, nor be always mindful of the scourges. Right. The Lord sent these things upon the earth so that men might see these things and consider their ways. But as these things are being sent upon the earth, as these plagues are being sent upon the earth and increased in the earth, people still aren't considering, which is why the Lord has to come down with that hammer. It says, for many of them that dwell upon the earth shall perish of famine, and the other that escape the hunger shall the sword destroy. And the dead shall be cast out as dung, and there shall be no man to comfort them, for the earth shall be wasted, and the cities shall be cast down. There shall no man be left to till the earth and to sow it. All right. With that, that's all I have for tonight. Let me see. Let's get this. Also, I had this precept queued up. This is Matthew 16 and 1. It says, the Pharisees also with the Sadducees came, and tempting desired him that he would shew them a sign from heaven. He answered and said unto them, when it is evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times? All right. And here it is. The Lord is making the signs of the times as clear as day. As clear as day. But yet you have men out here, all right, who are refusing to give the proper weather report, who are warning you of sunny skies and summer conditions when tornado season is at hand. But I just had one more. Just one more of mine. Because through all this, all right, the Lord is going to maintain his elect. All right, those who continue to be on their watch. All right, those who continue to be diligent, in this ministry and in their work and in their calling. All right, to continue to have, and those who are continuing and enduring and faithful, all right, the Lord is going to maintain those men. Lord willing, we're that number. All right, those men, women, and children. All right, it says, just Job 5:19. He shall deliver thee in 6 troubles. Yea, in 7 there shall no evil touch thee. In famine he shall redeem thee from death, and in war from the power of the sword. Thou shalt be hid from the scourge of the tongue, neither shalt thou be afraid of destruction when it cometh. At destruction and famine thou shalt laugh, neither shalt thou be afraid of the beasts of the earth. For thou shalt be in league with the stones of the field, and the beasts of the field shall be at peace with thee. And with that being said, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to my apostles and elders of Great Millstone who rule well, and grace and peace to you elect around the 4 winds, believing and pushing this truth in all sincerity. May the blessing of election be upon your houses. Shalom. Stay up.